Hey, today we're covering comments from Arrowhead CEO about adding attachments to Helldivers 2. He talks about some potential features coming to Helldivers 3, his thoughts on cross-save progression, and more. We've also got word that an Xbox player reportedly was banned for using Helldivers themed language. Plus, there's some exciting details about E711 that we'll get more into, and there's just a ton of content to cover. If you enjoy my content in the past, please consider supporting the channel by hitting the like button. It means a lot to me if you do that. With that said, let's get started. We're starting the video by covering a comment from a player on the official Helldivers Discord, where a Helldiver asked if Arrowhead could add a social hub for the next game, presumably Helldivers 3, considering they mentioned Helldivers 2. Surprisingly, CEO Shams Georgiani replied that it's on the feature list for their next project. So it seems we won't see a social hub in Helldivers 2, but there's a good chance one will appear in Helldivers 3 down the line. That said, Helldivers 2 still has plenty of life left before Arrowhead shifts full focus to developing a sequel. At the same time, Johan Pilestead, Arrowhead's chief creative officer, confirmed earlier this year that they're working on a new project, which could be Helldivers 3 or something entirely different, who knows. Either way, I'm excited to see what the future holds for Helldivers 3. Continuing on, we've got a comment from Arrowhead's CEO about the AR2 Coyote. Before we dive into that, we know CEO Shams Georgiani previously commented that players might be enjoying the Coyote too much, prompting some Reddit users to worry about a potential nerf. I even saw comments on my last video mentioning some sort of YouTube video out there claiming that the Coyote was nerfed. I haven't seen that video myself, but those claims are completely false, likely just a misleading video that someone created. Anyway, the truth is, Arrowhead actually loves that everyone's having fun with the Coyote. In response to a question about its reception, Shams said they're thrilled players enjoyed it. That's essentially what he said here, and that he hasn't seen the stats yet. So who knows what that exactly means, but I'd say it's safe to say that they're not going to nerf it. Next up, we've got a question from a player about a potential Fortnite collaboration. Could we see Helldivers 2 featured in Fortnite, perhaps with a Helldivers 2 skin? The answer Shams Georgiani gave was pretty straightforward. He thinks it's a cool idea, but doesn't know if it'll happen, and it's not a priority right now. That's intriguing. So I'd love to hear what you all think about this comment on Fortnite featuring a Helldivers 2 skin. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and let me know what you think about this overall. Moving on to the fourth question, a player asked if Shams Georgiani believes now is the best time to discuss a cross-save progression feature and a progress system for Helldivers 2. It seems we most likely won't see this anytime soon, as Shams revealed it's on the wish list. That doesn't mean it's off the table. Clearly it's something Arrowhead is considering. However, they need to find time to develop such a feature while focusing on other priorities like performance, bug fixes, and new content. I'd say their plate is pretty full right now. Switching gears, Arrowhead CEO tackled a frequently asked question about freezing issues on automaton missions, specifically on planets controlled by the automatons. As shown in this screenshot, Shams Georgiani replied that they're actively working on a fix. We might see a patch as early as tomorrow or perhaps next week, who knows. Whenever it drops, I'll be sure to cover the patch, provide all the details, and let you know whether or not the issue has been resolved. Coming up to our fifth question, Arrowhead CEO was asked about attachments for Helldivers 2. Apparently, Shams Georgiani has requested more scopes for the armory customization. As shown here, he stated that he's asked the designers to add more scopes, though it's ultimately up to them to implement. I'd assume they'll take his request seriously, but I'd love to see more than just scopes, right? Magazine options for the adjudicator, different customizations for the Constitution, and some of the other rifles would be awesome. I want to know, if you could pick one attachment, what would it be? If so, drop a comment below and let me know. Next in line, a Helldiver asks Shams Georgiani to push for tier 6 upgrades in Helldivers 2. Shams simply replied, yes. All I can say is that would be incredible if he follows through and requests the developers to finally add it to the game. We've seen Tier 6 upgrades teased in trailers, with the design and whatnot, and streams in the past. Yet they haven't been implemented despite a full year since release. With the whole Tier 5 upgrades, right? It's been forever. Anyways, with Shams likely advocating for this, we might see these upgrades at some point. We'll see what happens, and if I hear any more about this specific topic, I'll let you know. Now let's go over another frequent question, which is audio issues. What happened? What the hell is going on? Well, it turns out that Arrowhead had recently upgraded their Wise audio stuff and whatnot, and it turns out that completely bugged everything, and that's why some of the issues with the caves, even the weapons, are all jacked up, is because of that upgrade. As you can see from Arrowhead CEO's response, he talks about the upgrade and how it bugged everything out. The last and final question is about the philosophy. This Helldiver wants to know why, as of late, that the enemy design has been just all over the place. There's no weak spots. For example, flesh mobs, war striders. Those are some of the examples they gave. And in response, this is what Shams said. So he basically wrote that he's unaware of this, but he's going to let the team balance those babies out in the future. Basically, the new enemies, war striders, flesh mobs. Hell, we might see some changes for the dragon roach. I know a lot of players are annoyed with that particular enemy. We'll see what happens. It sounds like there could be some possible changes in the future. Okay, with the questions out of the way, we're going to go over the Helldivers 2 known issues. I think this is worth talking about because we know in the patch notes, I believe it was the last patch anyways, they talked about the Pelican, how it will land safely. However, it appears that the bug is back on the menu because we can see right here in the Helldivers 2 known issues over at the Arrowhead Zendesk site, which is Arrowhead's support site. They wrote right here, extraction shuttle or beacon may clip in terrain, preventing extraction. Yeah, so it seems that the bug is back again. I guess it wasn't fully resolved. I'm not entirely sure why or how it happened, but yeah, the issue is back on the table, and if you have experienced it recently, then just know they're working on it again, and we'll see how things turn out in the next patch. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's now talk about how an Xbox player received a suspension, or he was banned, in other words. We can see it says right here, Xbox banning people for Helldivers language. If we take a look at the suspension here and why he was banned, apparently it's because he wrote fighting terminates and automatons for democracy. It seems if you're on Xbox and you write something similar, you're going to get banned. Who would have thought that you would receive a ban over some words like that, right? I would have assumed it was something worse, right? But no, this is actually real, and someone was banned. There was actually 2 strikes, I believe, in this post. Nevertheless, if you're on Xbox, avoid using these specific words just in case, because you never know. Who the hell knows what's going on here? I'm not sure if you can appeal it. Maybe you can send them a message. I don't know. This is ridiculous, so watch out for this. You absolutely must avoid this at all costs, because apparently Microsoft does not want you to mention the automatons or the terminates. Watch out, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're now going to talk about the new video clip that just got uploaded to the Super Destroyer, and it says all you need to know with Correta Kelly. She talks about Operation Free Space, which involves the whole scenario with us using E711 and all that good stuff. We've talked about it in the previous video. Listen to this. It's quite hilarious, but there's also some cool stuff within it. Let's listen in.
This is Correta Kelly with all you need to know. Citizens rejoice as Operation Free Space marks the beginning of a new era of galactic dominion. Sugar consumption is on the rise, along with sales of the popular board game Galactic Colonization. The Helldivers have embarked on a top-secret mission. What mission, you may ask? If you did, make sure to report to your loyalty officer. Questions breed treachery. And the Freedom Ball finals were delayed when a child unearthed an historic artifact from the First Galactic War at the edge of the field. His discovery? A mine. And that is all you need to know.
Did y'all catch the last part? That was absolutely nuts. Yeah, a child found a mine. I wonder what happened. Regardless, they talked about Operation Free Space and so much more. I'd love to know your thoughts about this. I thought it was hilarious. And with that, let's now go over the top 3 comments. The first comment is from Zach that talked about how the new AR Coyote is an OP, but some of the other ARs need to be. And I absolutely agree with you on that. The recent one that we received, for some reason it's not popping up in my head, but the one with the stun, that needs to receive a buff. The second top comment is from this Helldiver that talked about how the E711 will turn into a slushy or a frozen beverage that you can slurp. Interesting comment. The third and final comment is by Super Mada 3583. My voice just cracked. And you talked about how the most annoying issue is not having control of your hell pod. Yes, I've seen several reports about that, and I think everyone here would agree with you on that. Anyways, here are some of the comments that were posted underneath my question that I asked previously. So there they are. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed the video. I stayed up super late to record this. I'm tired. I pretty much botched some things, but yeah. Anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, consider tapping the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you in the next one.